beautiful November morning in Arkansas. Couple of trophy awards there. I think it's going to be a Sunday dinner version of my award-winning chili. Here's you a picture of all the chili awards that I've won right here. What do you think of that? Speaks for itself, I think. No, I kind of got lucky. You know, everybody else cook bad chilies, you know. But I do enjoy my chili recipe. It started out as my mama's chili recipe, and then I added a little bit to it here and there. But I tell you what, the first thing you need to do is get your setup down. You absolutely have to have everything planned, everything thought of, and everything. And over the years, I've got to where I don't ever miss anything. The last 3 years, 4 years. I got it down. Now, occasionally you will forget something, you know, can opener. You don't want to forget a can opener. But, yeah, pretty much got it. I'm going to do some prep, and I'll tell you about all that here in a little bit, but I got to get started. Alright, as you know from the last video, we use these baby sweet peppers and sweet onions, vidalias. Let's get them chopped. That's the only fresh ingredient you'll need. This brings us to chili theory. Number one, for me, you need to know, are you in a heat contest or a flavor contest? You can have both if you do it right. Use an extract, you're just cheating. That ain't even flavor. That's nothing but just trying to burn someone up. I'll tell you what you also do. You're going to screw up and ruin it for everybody for trying to taste everybody else's chili. So get in a flavor contest, not a heat contest. That flavor is the way to go. So I use sweet peppers. I make 2 alarm chili. I hardly even eat chili. It doesn't agree with me. So, you know, I try and make it so that my kids can eat it and everybody enjoys it. So this is why I do it like this. Alright, 3 ingredients that's important for this chili. You need some pork, you need some little sausages. I use beef. They taste better for me. And some venison. And I am going to use this smoked venison roast, so it'll have that string, because I want some string meat, some ground meat, some sausage, and then little chunks of pork. So you get these thin chops, about 4 of them, loin. You don't have to cut around the bones, cut the fat off of them, chop them into 1/4-inch pieces. Take these, cut them lengthwise in quarters. It's worth the effort. They curl up, they stay as one piece because of the skin on the outside of them, the casing, and it's a nice little effect, okay? Trust me. This, I'm going to cut into big chunks, dice it probably, and then throw it in there too. Then we got our ground. I have 2 pounds of 8515. 1 pound of, what is that, 96%. That's extra lean. And then, 4 or 5 pieces of bacon. Alright, let's get to it. Keep in mind, this ain't the full recipe. This is a half a recipe. 5 gallons of chili is a lot of fucking chili you gotta cook. And that's the rules for the Guns N' Roses chili cook-off, the one I participated in. 5 gallons of chili. So double what you see here. Now, I'm not saying that you absolutely gotta add venison to your chili, but this is Arkansas, and this is some fire freaking venison. Oh yeah. No chunks of fat. This is little chunks of pork. You don't want someone to get just a mouthful of freaking fat when all they're getting is a little bitty serving cup of chili. So you want them to get absolutely lean, amazing tasting food. It has to be homogeneous. It has to be, your flavor has to be melded. Now I'm going to tell you, this is another thing when we get to the second school of thought. Because there's 2 schools of thought. You want either fresh or canned, your vegetables. Now, do you have time to develop your flavors if you're cooking fresh? Because I can tell you, most of the time you got about 4 hours in a chili cook-off to get that together. So, do you want to go with fresh? I wouldn't. Also, most people, the way their mother made it is out of the pantry. So you want to cook it the way their mama made it. So I guess it's a regional thing. Because most people, chili is not something that you would think of as something that rich people make. It's a poor people food. So this is soul food in its own way, cowboy soul food. So what I do is I cook it the way my mama cooked it, out of the pantry, and let someone else develop those flavors in the tomatoes. Yeah. Cubes, trust me. The shape matters. And that's all you want. You don't want a whole lot of that, because what you have to understand, you have to think about what it's going to look like when it's cooked. That pork is more for presentation and to fill the pot than it is for flavor, because we're going to add flavor to that with bacon. Alright. First off, you want to make sure you got your good rag a tasting spoon, your utensils here, something to put them on so it's not nasty, because I forgot that. That's one thing I forgot. Had to use paper towels, not a big deal. All right, you got the bacon, venison, which I use smoked venison this time. I used 3 small onions. This is sweet peppers. I used like a bag of them. A cup and a half, 2 cups. 3 thinly sliced 1/4-inch chunks of pork loin. I've got these little smokies that I've cut lengthwise in quarters. Trust me, it matters. Try it either way. Try it all you want, or you can use chorizo, whatever. But that makes a difference. The beef smokies. We've got our ground beef. You can use ground venison. This is why I'm using lean beef here, because that's my recipe. So a pound of venison or lean beef, and 2 pounds of 75. What was that? 8515. 2 pounds of 8515. All right. Then, if you ain't got beans in your chili, you ain't got chili. Okay. You've got a hot dog topping. All right. This comes from the man who won that one, and even more awards on my chili. So this makes chili: red beans and black beans. Okay. Now you want a can of sauce, crushed tomatoes, diced tomatoes. You can even use whole ones and kind of macerate them, and then pickled jalapenos. That's the heat where I get. Sometimes I use juice, sometimes I don't, depending on how wet it is, okay? We got black pepper and white pepper, touch of cinnamon, ground cayenne pepper, cumin, paprika, sea salt, garlic powder, chili powder. If you have your own blend of herbs and spices, feel free to use that. That's my smoked salt. And now, if you use bouillon, any kind of bouillon, any kind of flavoring, whether you're going to use broth or whatever the hell, let me give you a hint and see if you can find this in your local market. Better than bouillon. This shit right here, oh my God. That is concentrated, liquid form beef. And they make a chicken too. So, that is going to really add that flavor to anything you cook with it, especially soups or chili. Alright, and as I've said all before, this right here is a half a recipe, so adjust accordingly. Oh, and I forgot, you've also got to have your thicker and your thinner, just in case you want to have this with you. Okay? You got to have, if it's too thin, or if you need to stretch it even, you can use garlic roasted mashed potatoes, or any kind of mashed potatoes, instant. And then if it's too thick, use some chicken broth. There you go. Let's get to cooking. Generally on the morning of a chili cook-off, this is dark still, you know. You're still in the dark. And it's, what, 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning? So, I got my ground beef with fat in it over here in my chili pot. I'm rendering the fat out of some bacon, which at this point I would generally be using this skillet for cooking bacon and eggs. for my breakfast. Gotta have food in your belly. All right. Chili tip number 3. Don't season the ingredients, season the pot. Let that beef be the seasoning. Let that bacon grease be the seasoning. Let that bean juice out of them cans be the seasoning. Let that flavor of them ingredients make your chili taste like that. Don't use something else to make it taste like what you think chili should make it taste like. Ugh.
Don't just give up, don't stop trying. Just live your life day by day. Doesn't matter what they say.
you go. We're gonna let this simmer. See, you got all them different textures and flavors and all that working together for you. Let them all meld, and I'll tell you what, 4 or 5 hours, that's gonna be excellent. It usually takes about 3 hours before I can serve it, so it's usually not even at its prime. So yeah, good chili. There's about 2 gallons. That's the recipe that I just showed you. All right, we'll cover that, let it simmer on low, medium low, whatever, meld all the flavors together, and then we'll serve. I'm gonna take about 6 hours of low on this. Y'all are good. Tell you what, a good pot is every bit as important as anything else that you put in that pot. Do you think you're gonna cook 5 gallons of chili in a 16 gauge piece of aluminum on a fry daddy or a fish fryer burner? I went and got this Camp Chef. Man, this thing's got all kinds of attachments and different stuff. You can make it into an oven if you want to. It's gas. It's got 3 fish fryer burners that I can turn down to real low. Good burners. This pot, this chili pot, the bottom of it is about that thick, and it's got a copper plate in it, and it holds the heat. I can bring this up to temperature actually, and turn the heat off, and it stays hot while we're serving the next couple of hours. So that's a big tip for you too. Always buy good ingredients and buy a good pot. That's an ingredient too. Chili.
Have you watched the D-Train?
The leg up chili. Right here. Here, I'll put a link right here for this. All right. Enjoy it. I hope you win with it. If you use this recipe and you win, please let me know. That'd be awesome. Do my heart good since I can't compete with it anymore. All right, fellas. Let's get us consensus.
No.
Mr. Bean, what do you think of this leg up chili?
I understand why it's award-winning.
It is award-winning chili.
It's delicious.
I appreciate you, sir.
Really good.
Miss Fleetwood, you like it?
Yes, it's awesome.
Oh, Fleetwood. Knucklehead, you not. Oh. TJ, what do you think, buddy?
Delicious.
It's already gone, huh? You didn't even get a chance, huh? Oh, yeah, Mr. Lang, what do you think back here, buddy?
That's awesome.
You enjoy it? The lovely Miss Bean.
It's good.
That's Miss Bean.
It's a dog.
You enjoying yourself, Miss Rachel?
Yes, I am.
Thank you very much for coming. I appreciate you.
Handler always.
Little doggy.